Hey guys, Iran PSA here. Um, yeah, I'm tired. It's like 2 a.m. You know that feeling when you go to bed and it's pretty much like you think you forgot something, but you don't really know what it is. So you go to bed anyway, and then you wake up 2 hours later, and go, oh shoot, yeah, shoot, school project, all that. Oh shoot, I forgot to do my Iran stuff. So you go upstairs and you get a bottle of Mountain Dew, and it's really, really full, and you drink all of it, and you get kind of weird. And then it's like 3 a.m., so you're even weirder. So that's kind of where I am right now. But anyway, let's get on the this little Iran public service announcement. So yes, let's go. First issue, women's rights, easy one. Let's go. So yes, women's rights in Iran not great. They're getting better, but not too great. Probably best under the Shah's era. They had the White Revolution, which solidified many of women's rights in Iran. That all went downhill, although after the Iranian Revolution of 1979 under Alatoya whatever, I can't pronounce his name, set the standards pretty far back. It's enforced much stricter Islamic tendencies. It has been getting better recently under Ahmadinejad, but still, women do not have the same place in society as men do. Alright, I just looked over my last four sections, and they're like a minute long combined, so I'm going to try to keep this nice and short. Okay, the difference between Shiites and Sunnis, essentially they disagree on who the rightful successor to the Prophet Muhammad is, and that leads to major political ramifications in Iraq. Being a mostly Islamic country, they have major disagreements between the two sides, and that leads into the politics, and it divides the citizens. Now for the history of the Iranian Revolution. Essentially, it all started under the White Revolution of the Shah Muhammad, that guy. Yeah, White Revolution, very liberal policies. We talked about it before with the part of it was women's right. That didn't exactly go over well with several more conservative Islamists. So lo and behold, 10 years later, Iranian Revolution of 1979, and Iran moved to a republic, kind of. And that is the briefest history of Iran you will ever hear. Alright, and next is the elected bodies of Iran. There are essentially two elected bodies. There's more, but these are the main two. There's the president and parliament. But their legitimacy is a bit questionable because of a few reasons. There's one, the supreme leader, who is stronger than the president, and he's not elected. There's the Guardian Council, which can reject parliament's laws on the basis of Islamic laws. And so that kind of brings into question, like, what's the legitimacy if our elected officials are less powerful than the ones that are just kind of appointed? And then, on like adding to that, there's the Expeditionary Council, which is very powerful. They're also not elected. They advise the supreme leader on stuff, which doesn't sound that impressive, but that could be quite important in Iran. So the real question is, does Iran have a legitimate system? Oh, and I just looked at the assignment sheet, and apparently there's a section on non-elected government officials. Okay, so this is going to be really fast. Supreme leader better than president. Guardian Council, yes, that's a Guardian Council. They can reject Parliament's laws. And then there's the Expeditionary Council, which advises the Supreme Leader on stuff. Important stuff. Okay, next topic, the rentier system within Iran. Essentially, the rentier system is they receive so much external revenue from oil, primarily, and their other natural abundance of resources that they don't really need to care too much about, like, interest, articulation, and aggregation. They don't really care. They have a lot of money anyway from the oil. So, yeah. And it's going to kill two birds with one stone here. The oil is the reason for the major debate over economic policy in Iranian politics. They see it as kind of, it's a blessing and a curse because they're they're not extremely wealthy from it, but it's their major source of income. But it kind of screws them over when the oil prices in the world drop. So they're trying to work that out. Should we keep milking the oil or what? They're debating this. But yes, that is essentially the major economic debate and the rentier system all in one. And well, here we are, number 7. I'm only 5 minutes in. Awesome. This is way too long. Anyway, number 7, political culture of Iran. That's very broad. Well, one thing to be said for them, they're very proud to be Iranians. They're proud of the fact that Iran was not some product of some dirty European colony. They're, I don't know, they're Iranians first, Muslims second. That is the main consensus within Iran, even though the Islamic law is so powerful there. So, yes. And finally, we arrive at the final question as to why Iran has had such difficulty spreading Islamic culture to people domestically and internationally. It's essentially because their rules are very strict. They adhere to a very strict version of Islam that doesn't really allow much personal freedoms for, well, half of the population, and it has several rules and regulations, and people don't really like that being forced on them. And so it's very hard to spread to people if it's not already within someone's family or taught to them at a very young age. So that is essentially the reason why. And we are done, and it's only 4 a.m. But yeah, sorry about the audio spikes all the way through. I'm recording on like the world's worst microphone, and I'm using Windows Movie Maker, the worst program I've ever touched. So yeah, I'm going to bed after another hour of putting silly pictures on this video. Bye.